Hello, this is Maria from visasinportugal.com. I'm guessing that if you are seeing me, it's because you saw my previous videos. If not, welcome. If this is the information you like, I'm talking all about Portugal, residency, citizenship, all you need to know about Portugal. If this is information that you like, please give me a like, hit subscribe so you receive all the notifications whenever I post a new video. Now, today is the day. I have already spoken in previous videos about the difference in citizenship, what's happening, what's the new law. Then I spoke about temporary residency because you need to know the difference between temporary residency and permanent residency. So I addressed temporary residency in the last video. Now I'm here to explain what is permanent residency. And why am I doing this? Because when I posted the differences on the law for citizenship and whatnot, I came across with many of you asking questions, and those questions led me to believe that what you really want is permanent residency, but somehow you don't know and you're calling it citizenship. Okay, what's the difference? What is permanent residency? So permanent residency is for those of you who have been in Portugal living legally with a residency permit for 5 years. You have a residency permit of 2 years, you renew for another 3, you can show the 2. You have rental contract that shows that you've been in the country for 5 years, and you can apply for permanent residency. And the requirements for permanent residency are exactly the same as for citizenship, okay? So when you apply for permanent residency at the end of 5 years living in Portugal, you are going to submit a criminal background check, you are going to submit means of subsistence, you are going to show that why you want to live in the country, what are your ties to the country. You are going to do A2 language course for Portuguese. You have to show a certificate of an A2 language course in Portuguese. And what does permanent residency give you? Why is it so appealing? Because it is very appealing. You've been 5 years in the country. Depending on your residency permit, I'm guessing if you are a D7, D8, D9, you are a pensionist, you work remotely, you have to show that you spent 6 months in a row or 8 months with gaps for those 5 years every year. But when you reach permanent residency, at the end of those 5 years when you apply with permanent residency, you don't need to show how long you're staying in the country. You'll be given an ID card saying it's permanent. And after that ID card, they will not ask any more questions. You will not have to renew it. You can travel in Portugal, in Europe. You can do whatever you want. It's not mandatory that you spend 6 months in a row, 8 months with gaps. None of that. You might have to change the ID card every 5 years, I believe, but that's only to submit, if you change your address, you are now married and you change your last name, all of that. That's the only thing you need to do, and you might or not change a card every 5 years. It can be after 10 years, okay? But the residency itself, the requirements for residency, you only apply after 5 years of temporary residency and you don't need to apply anymore. So this gives you what you want. You want to live freely in Portugal without having to show if you spend 6 months or 8 months with gaps. You want to travel Europe and do whatever you want. Even if you want to work in France, for example, in any country of Europe, if you want to work there and you have a permanent residency from Portugal, you can go to that country and ask them to change your permanent residency in Portugal to French, to Italy, to whatever country it is. And because it's permanent and it was granted by a country of Europe, they will give you the same without questions asked. So permanent residency, I believe, is giving you the same things you are aiming for when you talk about citizenship. Citizenship is a passport. Citizenship is when, oh, Maria, I'm a US citizen and I'm disappointed what's happening in my country, so I want to renounce my citizenship. And for that, I need another passport. And I was counting on the Portuguese passport in order to do that. That's different, right? But if it's because you want to stay freely, you want to live as if you were Portuguese, the permanent residency gives you that. And at the end of those, when the requirements for citizenship come through when you have all of the requirements, you can still apply for Portuguese citizenship while holding a permanent residency, okay? So I believe permanent residency is what you are aiming for when you're discussing citizenship. So don't be disappointed with the changes of the laws for Portuguese citizenship, because if you really analyze it, it's not that big of a deal, and it's not a big problem for you because you'll have permanent residency. Okay? If this is the kind of information that you like, hit subscribe, don't forget, say you like it, and most of all, because there's so many questions, I'm issuing a PDF with the difference between temporary residency, citizenship, permanent residency, and whatnot. So write in the comments PDF, and I'll send you that PDF with all that information. If you have more questions, give me those questions. I love to do videos answering those questions, okay? Thank you. See you soon. Bye-bye.